Swiped is one of the worst movies and excusive commentary I've ever seen. I will just end the video on that statement, but I'll be denying you the experience of what it was like watching this 90-minute PSA about the negative side of hookup apps and hookup culture in general. Something I didn't know could be done not only wrong, but like those shitty propaganda films that warn you about everyday things that can be dangerous for you. And while those films have the corniness of how poorly the message is being given to support a watch of it, Swipe doesn't do that. Instead, it tries so hard to preach a message that it bounces off the idea of being informative, and instead falls into the pit of being those shitty Lifetime movies. And not like the actual watchable shit, but shit that's in the range of cyber seduction. The film as a whole follows the story of college freshman Daniel as he creates a hookup app for who I'll call Douche, Moe Hair, and Dollar Store Logan Paul. So anyway, Douche tells Daniel that he wants to get an MIT, he could help him and his friends make a hookup app so he can get money to get in, and Douche and his friends can get laid. Except for the fact that Daniel has made it clear that he's created other apps, like an app to help the homeless and more, so it's kind of weird that this feat alone was not able to get the attention of MIT. But hey, some colleges expect more, whether it be from what you can do, or what your parents can do. I should also take time to point out how some of the characters are poorly written here. Daniel's supposed to be a likable geek, but Adesanya was a boring nerd. No matter what he did, Adesanya was one of the weaker characters in the movie. And this is our hero. Hannah is honestly forgettable and bland character who doesn't really add much to the story in my opinion, and that's just an unlikable ass throughout the whole movie. Everything he does in this movie makes him more and more unlikable, and there is a way to make an asshole likable, but in this film, he's just an unlikable, uncharming human, and it's because of this that not only makes me hateful of him, but also bored of him because that's all his character is. Everyone else in this film, like Daniel's parents and sister, the teacher, the sorority sisters, Max's friend, and everyone else in the film, are either forgettable or no, just forgettable. The only two characters who, and this is true, got me to laugh twice in this movie was Daniel's mom and Max's friend Moe Hair. These two scenes are the only moments of solace for me in this 90-minute mess, and I'll give you the times of when that happens in the description below. Everyone else is written as a stereotype of who they represent, which in all honesty kinda helps in a sense of who you have to root for, but I don't want them to do this because I don't want them to be more than stereotypes. I want them to be actual real characters who you can relate to. Disney and Nick do a better job at making relatable characters than this film does. And hey, I bet the actors are good too, but I just wish they were written better. The end of the film is the typical "you guys have control" speech that a film like this can make. And granted that's a positive message, it's a shame this feels tacked on and honestly out of place narrative wise. I'm not going to go into more spoilers for the film because the director has had, and I'll put it lightly here, a very unique way of showing how she handles people talking about spoilers and the movie in general. And we will talk about that. But first, let me tell you guys about how I would make this film better than the version we have now. This is my version of Swiped. First of all, have Daniel be an up-and-coming app builder. He hasn't made apps for the public, but instead is a way to test himself. He is self-conscious about sharing his ideas, but to know they're good. He is already attending college like in the original film, with dreams going to MIT, with his very serious girlfriend, Hannah. Next thing he knows, he meets Nance, and he's still an asshole, but will make it clear thanks to a small public interaction with his dad in the original movie, that because of his current upbringing, he had a negative impact on women and has rubbed off him as a result. So, we get a better idea of who he is and why he's like that. His friends can be his neighbors, I guess. I don't know what their purpose is in this version either. Anyway, Nance finds out Daniel's good at app building, so he tells him that if he'll build a hookup app like in the original film, he will get money out of it and can go to MIT. But Daniel doesn't want people to find out it's him, so Nance says he'll be the face while Daniel works in the background. Daniel, who realizing to be a big step for him, agrees, but tells Nance that his girlfriend can't find out about it, as she hates hookup apps as a whole. So right now, we're at the premise of the film, but I feel it's more natural compared to the original version. But this is where it gets interesting. Daniel builds the app and it takes off, but Nance decides to take some of the money Daniel was making. Nance then threatens him by saying that if he tries anything, he will reveal that he's helping out to his girlfriend. Not that he created it, but he's part of the team. He doesn't want to do that, so basically he's stuck in this scenario. The app grows popular on campus and that gets all the credit by not only his peers, but the public. Daniel's in the shadows, nobody knows him, and that's starting to get to him. This leads to a protest by telling Nance that unless he gets paid for his services, he can't help. Screwing over Nance when an update that was supposed to go out doesn't go through, which makes people mad. To get revenge, Nance decides to make a fake profile of Daniel on the app, and Hannah finds out. Daniel tries to tell Hannah that it's a setup, but it doesn't work, which leads to a bigger fight between Daniel and Hannah, where it's revealed that the reason Hannah hates these apps is because her parents got divorced over her mom or her dad being revealed to have used the app during their relationship. This is also led to trust issues as a result, and that's why she hates hookup apps as a whole. This leads to a breakup. Daniel is crushed. He has lost almost all purpose, and the only thing he has left, of course, is the app, and he is thrust back to the background working as a result. One day, he's confronted by a woman's sorority and it's revealed that Max has been with most of them, and they want revenge. He then revealed to them that he built the app and that he wants revenge too, so they create a plan to expose everything. The day of the update is here, and as soon as users agree to it, the app shuts down and a video is played where all sorority girls talk about Matt and reveal who he really is as a person, leaving Matt shaken to his core. Daniel then comes up and reveals himself to be the true creator of the app and talks about what he did that he regrets and apologizes to Hannah, who is listening. He then gives a speech about how you have control over people and not an app, and wishes everyone the best of what they're trying to look for, while admitting he messed up on what he found. And with that, the app goes offline, and as it goes offline, the movie ends, and like Daniel's speech, it's up to us to decide what happens next. There, in just... I've hopefully made a better version of the movie we already got. If you like this version better, let me know. If not, tell me a version you thought of that was better than the one we currently got, and put in the description below. Now, I wonder how the director responded to the criticism, because it's both amazing and awful. The director, Deborah Ann Fishman, sent emails to reviewers of the movie, asking for them to remove the clips of the movie, or for that, remove the video in general, as it, quote, beyond the scope of fair use. This has gathered understandable negative response, as it's pretty much an ultimatum of, remove these clips or face the consequences, which in and of itself is an act of censorship. Movie reviews as a whole are in fair use. Section 107 of the Copyright Act literally explains it. Section 107 of the Copyright Act provides the statutory framework for determining whether something is a fair use and identifies certain types of use, such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research as examples of activities that may qualify as fair use. This act protects us, the reviewer, from any type of issue that can come up featuring copyright work as pertains to criticism and review. We have that right as consumer to criticize and refer to certain content as example. And I should also point out the old adage, all publicity is good publicity. The movie is bad, and it shows given how there are people talking about it. But there is such a thing as morbid curiosity, in which a person is drawn to something they know they won't like. People who review this movie are in a way helping bring in more people so they can see how bad the movie really is, which in turn is bringing in more revenue for you. No matter what, you still make money, while these other reviewers out here are basically giving you free advertising. You're good either way. The least you can do, Deborah, is to let us do our job and talk about the movie in a way that helps people understand, and not go off on people trying to do their job. And yes, that includes showing clips as pertains to what's being talked about. Look, I'll be real with you. I didn't want to make this video. I didn't even know about Swiped until all the shit with Deborah and fair use happened. But when pieces started to fall, I knew how to talk about it. The movie is bad, and I wanted to put this chapter behind me. But I know that eventually Deborah will find this video and send an email, and believe me, I was waiting for that. And it's not going to stop people from watching the movie, whether it be from morbid curiosity or if they just like it. I'm just another bump on the road and the movie's a car speeding down. Nothing will stop it. It will still be talked about. Plus, considering more movies from Night Productions are in the works right now, it's not going to affect them in the long run.
What do you want?
We want James!
Point is, I'm done now. I'm gonna go watch something better. Hopefully something for Halloween next month.
Saturday, Nickelodeon brings you its first ever Halloween movie for television. Cry Baby Lane, Saturday at 9, 8 Central in a special Halloween Snick.